Hello, and welcome to Ice is Slippery, an unserious podcast about hockey brought to you by 1.5 hockey fans. My name is Kate, and I'm the hockey fan.
And my name is Fred. I am half a hockey fan.
Good evening, Fred. How are you?
Good evening. This is the latest we've recorded a podcast.
It's very late. It's almost 8 o'clock here.
Yeah.
I've been traveling all day.
You have been.
Because I was coming back from Dallas.
You sure were.
Because I flew there to watch game 1 of the playoffs.
You sure did.
Because my nice husband bought me a playoff ticket for my birthday.
Yeah. You were there. I was here. I didn't happen to see any hockey games while you were gone. I was just still doing Coachella, so. Coachella. Yep.
I mean, you did watch the Stars game, of course.
I think, maybe.
I know you did because you were texting me.
I was trying to joke around.
You're not very good at it.
No, it wasn't very funny anyway.
Well, yeah, so we're going to talk about that, the Stars game, and I guess my weekend adventure, but I figured we'll do a little bit of news, just wrapping up the regular season. There's not too much else to wrap up.
Right.
So, yeah, I'll just kind of do some sort of little fun odds and ends, I guess. On Tuesday, the Wild played their last regular season game, and they only needed 1 point to clinch a playoff spot. And they tied it up late in the game to send it to OT. So they were like, okay, cool, we're going to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like, we got it.
Yep.
So Philip Gustafson is the starting goalie for the Wild, and he had started that game. And so he was like, hey, coach, don't put me in. Like, send Fleury to overtime.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, it was super cool. So because Marc-Andre Fleury, he's retiring. It's his last season. And this was their last regular season game of the season. They were at home. So yeah, he was like, put Fleury in. So they put Fleury in for one last sort of OT extravaganza. And it was just like vintage Fleury. He was like doing the pad saves, and he was thanking his goalposts while play was still going on, and they killed a penalty and they won the game. So, and since the game was tied when Fleury went in, he gets credit for the win too. So, which is so cool.
And he broke some record or something with that, or added to his record.
Yeah, I think the game before that, he had broken the overtime wins record or something for.
Yep.
I don't know if it was the Wild or the league, or I don't know.
Yep.
So many records, so little time.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very cool.
Yeah, I thought that was really sweet. On Wednesday night, the Montreal Canadiens also clinched a playoff spot.
I'm so excited for them, by the way. I don't have any investment in them other than their social media content, but yay.
Yeah, no, they have so many cute little babies on their team, and they're really fun on the social medias. I like that little Slavkovsky guy.
Yeah, I don't think he's little.
Well, okay, no, he's gigantic. His thigh is the size of me, and I'm not small.
Suzuki and Caulfield are tiny munchkins there.
Those are tiny munchkins, yes. I just meant small, in youthfulness.
He does have that youthful exuberance.
He does. So yeah, no, I'm really happy for them. They are the youngest team in the playoffs, by average age, I guess.
Right.
Yeah. So tiny babies, like I said.
And they weren't supposed to make it, right?
No, nobody expected them to make it this year. And it really kind of came down to the wire between them and the Blue Jackets. I would have been happy with either of them, honestly. The Blue Jackets have been through it this year.
Right.
But they made it so far too, and both should be commended. But the Habs, they were super excited, and at the final Habs game too, it was actually really nice that they won, because remember a few weeks ago I told you that Brendan Gallagher, whose mom passed away, there was a fan who had said that she had his jersey, his Hockey Fights Cancer jersey that he had donated. She had gotten it through a charity auction. She wanted to get it back to him.
Yeah.
So he had arranged for her to come, and he gave it to her, or he gave her his game-worn jersey on the ice and signed it for her, along with some other things. And she returned his mom's jersey basically to him, and also gave him some baby gifts for his newborn daughter.
Yeah, she had a whole box.
Yeah, a whole box.
She's like one of those scrapbooking, crocheting moms.
Oh, for sure. So it was just really sweet and thoughtful. And you could tell that it was just a really nice, sort of meaningful moment. And I think it was really nice that they had actually won.
Certainly helps the narrative, right?
Yeah, it would have been nice no matter what, but I think that really, really helped to make it even a little more special. So yeah, I don't know. I liked that. I thought it was really nice.
Yeah, it was.
And that's not the only good news for the Habs this week.
Oh, God, right?
Yeah. So Ivan Demidov has arrived from Russia.
He sure has.
Yeah, in style.
Yeah.
He was drafted 5th overall in last year's draft, and Habs fans didn't think he was going to be coming over this soon. It was kind of a Michkov situation where people were like, it's Russia. You know, like a lot of the times when you draft Russian players, you don't know if/when they're coming because Russia and hockey, and it's weird and it's complicated politically and whatnot. So the fact that he is here and he made it right in time for playoffs, everyone's like, oh my God, it's happening. Like the Office gif, like everybody was posting that one.
Right. Like they were like tracking his plane and like we're at the airport, like fans.
Yeah, no,
right?
There was like some woman on the plane who was like a marketing person for, I don't know, for something. And she was, and people were like, do you know who you're on the plane with? And she was like, what's happening? What are we talking about? So yeah, it was big news. And he really, it started out great. He played his first game was the second to last game, and he got a goal and an assist. So
yeah,
starting off really strong.
Yeah, for sure.
And he's been preparing for this. You can tell he's taken some English lessons and things. So he's, he
seemed super comfortable to just be like the center of attention and like real chill about it and cool and like, yeah, cool as a cucumber, and then a goal and an assist. So
yeah, he looks kind of like an 80s, like sort of action hero type, very sort of Dolph Lundgren-esque.
Like a Chikrin.
Yeah, kind of. Just like cheekbones for days.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And he's pretty funny and charming. He was actually asked by a reporter after the Habs had sort of cemented their playoff spot. They were going to be facing the Capitals in the first round. And a reporter asked him if Ovi was one of his idols growing up. And Demidov replied, I love Malkin much better than Ovi.
Wow.
Which is an amazing example of negging, negging for good, I think. Like, because Ovi's going to be like, what the fuck? Like, this kid thinks Malkin's better than me.
Right.
Like, it's great. He's just like, oh yeah, I'm going to start another old guy feud. Like, this is going to be amazing.
That's fun.
Yeah, no, it's super great. So I think that's really fantastic. And yeah, that's definitely going to give the Habs some extra juice going in.
It's certainly not going to hurt them.
Oh,
well,
no.
Yeah. I mean, probably. Unless he, I don't know, starts hitting them all with pucks in the face. Right.
Gets Dallas Stars disease.
Yep.
And yeah, just some other random bits and bobs. We found out that Rasmus Andersson from the Calgary Flames, people had noticed he'd sort of slowed down a little bit towards the end of the season. Mm-hmm. Apparently, for the last 12 games of the season, he had been playing with a broken fibula.
What's the fibula?
It's a leg bone.
Okay.
It's the same bone that Alexander Ovechkin broke.
Oh, nice. And he's playing goal with that.
No, he's like a forward. I think.
Yeah. We're just going to cut this out. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know anatomy or players.
I think you're thinking Freddie Anderson. He's a goalie. Rasmus Andersson is, I'm pretty sure, a forward.
Gotcha.
I'd have to double check. He might be defense. Anyway, yeah, he's just been playing with a broken leg for 12 games. So
well, that sucks for him.
Yeah. And then they didn't even make the playoffs.
Right.
But it's probably better for him because if they had made the playoffs, he would still be playing on a broken leg. Yeah. So at least now he won't be doing that.
Yeah, I was hoping the Flames made it in for some reason.
They were really close to. Yeah. They also came down to the wire. So,
yep.
And, they, again, did a lot better than anybody thought that they would. So
yeah,
they're heading in the right direction. They got that good coach. So
yeah,
they have a lot of promise.
They're on my short list.
Mm-hmm. Somebody who did not do well was Chicago, but they had a funny moment to end their season. On Monday, they played the Habs, and that game went to a shootout. And Frank Nazar took a shot, and the refs couldn't find the puck and apparently assumed it went up over the netting. And we're like, okay, well, the puck's gone. Let's just keep playing.
Oh, God, we saw this live.
We did see it live. And Frank Nazar is like, yep, I scored a goal. I'm going to go get my high fives. And everyone's like, why are you high-fiving us? And he's like, I scored a goal. And his teammates are like, no, you didn't. The refs said you didn't. And he's like, I'm pretty sure I scored a goal. And the refs are like, all right, Habs player Patrick Laine, it's your turn to shoot because this person didn't score a goal.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, the Situation Room in Toronto is like, I believe there's a a puck stuck in the goal?
Yeah.
Can we go to camera 3? Yes, there is definitely a puck stuck in the goal. So they had seen it and they just couldn't get in touch with the refs soon enough. So Patrick Laine did go and take that shot. And then they were like, hey, BT Dubs, Frank Nazar definitely scored a goal.
Yeah.
And it ended up being the game-winning goal. So
that was some of the wildest shit I've ever seen. Because they had a camera angle from like where the ref was standing. It clearly went in the goal. Was he not looking? And also, if it goes up, like from a penalty shot, or like basically a penalty shot or whatever, a shootout, how they're over the net? Really? Like,
it would have to be like launched into space.
Right? And they were like, oh, yeah, no, don't find a puck. Must have gone over the net. What? Those guys, oh, my goodness.
And no reaction from the crowd?
Yeah, there's nobody in the back like jumping to catch a puck or anything. And the dudes are just standing there looking at the puck go in the net. I don't know. My mind was blown that they missed that call.
It was the definition of refs be reffing.
Yeah.
Like, it was completely crazy.
Yeah. And then, I don't know, like they should have taken Laine's shot back from him and had him do it again or something. Like, it's just complete chaos.
Yeah.
Not that they would do that. That'd be stupid too.
I know. Yeah, I don't think it really made a difference.
Right.
It wasn't like the puck being stuck in the net didn't really do anything for Laine one way or the other.
Yeah.
But it was just so weird. I've never seen anything like it before.
I don't know how their logic bones connected that the puck was out of play.
It was very like, I'm a toddler and I don't have object permanence right now. Like, I don't see the puck, therefore the puck doesn't exist anymore. Oh. But it's like, okay, but why doesn't the puck exist? I don't know. It's not in front of my eyeballs, so it's not my problem.
Exactly.
It's like, well, can you find the puck? No, it doesn't exist. Like, it just doesn't. I don't see it, so it doesn't exist. It's not a thing.
Straight wackiness.
So stupid. And there's like one official on either side of the net, and they were both staring directly at the net, and neither one of them sees it go in.
Yeah.
It was so crazy.
Yeah, I don't know what they were up to, but nothing good.
No, absolutely not.
Nothing good.
So, yeah, I don't know. It was so dumb. Well, we did have some funnier, sort of lighter news from Frank Nazar's teammate, Spencer Knight. He was traded to Chicago this year from the Panthers, and he talked about the challenges of relocating mid-season and finding a place to live. And you actually pulled the audio of this.
I did. We're going to do something we've never done on this podcast.
We're going to be fancy.
We're going to play an audio clip.
All right, let's give it a go.
So right when I got here, I started looking at places to live. Frankly, it wasn't even for the sake of finding a place. I was in the hotel the whole end of the year, but it was something that I just was like, okay, the more places I see, the more I'll kind of understand what I like, what I don't like. Because living in a city is different than living in, say, a suburb where it's, okay, guys live in this one suburb. It's 10 minutes to the rink. All right, which house do you like? There's townhomes, there's condos, there's duplex downs, there's single family homes, there's high-rise apartments. There's a train next to one apartment. I don't like that. That's weird. I don't know why they're above ground and like so loud all the time. So I don't like that. I don't want to live in a place that has super loud like that. Okay, this street's loud. This street's not. This street's a one-way. There's someone above me here. The floors are thin. Like there's so many little things that go into living in a city that seem, actually, you don't think of when you're just like in Florida when you're in a house and you're just like, I have my house and this is my spot. The only thing bothering me might be the lizards in Florida in my backyard.
I just loved that. I thought it was such a great little insight into those weird little quirks of moving in the middle of the year to a place that you're not prepared to live in and that you haven't thought of.
Yeah.
Because, I haven't ever lived in a city. I wouldn't know what to do if I got there. And I'm very picky about things. I'm very particular.
Yeah.
So
he's obviously very particular.
Yes. Well, and he's a goalie. So goalies are their own particular breed. And then he also is diagnosed with obsessive compulsive disorder, which he's spoken openly about and has taken leave for before to get, sort of better managed. So that's got to be extra difficult on top of everything else because routines are such an important thing.
Right.
So, finding a place where you can feel comfortable and settled and the unpredictability of a train running through.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Crazy.
Nope. He's super adorable.
He's very cute. It's very funny. I liked how much the reporters were like, oh, look at you, cute little guy with the laughing. They just thought it was great.
Yeah. And I technically work in Chicago remotely and have to go there every now and then. And I don't know how I would find a place to live there. I wouldn't want to live there. My God, is that city confusing. Like when he's talking about the trains like running above you and below you, like the streets are crazy. You're just walking and then there's a street above you and you're like, how do I get up there? Anyway.
Yeah. Well, and like one-way streets. Yeah. I don't want to live in a place with a one-way street.
Yeah.
I get confused so easily when that happens.
Yep.
So
he just needs to move where Bedard lives or whatever. I'm sure he's in like a condo or something.
Probably.
Yeah.
I did think too, it was really funny him talking about the lizards in Florida being the biggest problem because, you know, I grew up in Florida and you, I think, had an adjustment when you moved to Florida when we first started dating.
I did not realize that lizards were like a thing that didn't exist or that existed outside the desert.
Yeah, no, they're like everywhere in Florida. They like live in your house.
Yeah.
And they eat bugs and they're everywhere.
Yep.
I was showing you a video the other day of somebody posted like their Ring doorbell camera where there were 2 gators on their front porch and one was like ringing the doorbell.
Yeah.
And you were like, I'm so glad we left Florida.
It's nice to, not that I go by lakes or small bodies of water frequently or at all, but it's nice to know that I can and I don't have to like think about gators attacking me and like, that was always going on in Florida.
Oh yeah, no, you can't go by like any kind of body of water, like even like a large puddle without being like, oh, a dinosaur is going to kill me.
Exactly.
So yeah, no, it's just, again, living different places is so weird. It's like so weird and different. Like I grew up in Florida, so it was completely normal to me to just be like going out for a walk and seeing a gator. Yeah. And then I have friends come and visit me from California and they're like, what the fuck is this place? Yep. Like it's crazy.
Yep. And for me, bears were like more normal.
Right, exactly.
Like, yeah, that's a bear. There was a bear in the backyard last night, that kind of stuff. Anyway.
Yeah, or like hurricane season. I'm like, ugh, hurricane season again. I'm so tired of preparing for hurricane season. And now I'm like, oh no, fires. Like, it's just, you get used to what you get used to. So I don't know. I just thought that was like a fun little insight from him. So
yeah. Well, he seems like somebody we should keep track of.
Yes, I think so too. I like him. So, all right. Well, that's kind of all we've got for, little odds and ends and things.
Yep.
So it's playoff time.
It's playoff time. Yep.
It's playoff time. So we'll be sort of keeping up with the playoffs. We'll keep posting weekly and checking in on how all the playoffs are going.
Yep.
I guess won't be talking about the Flyers anymore.
No, they wrapped it up. Whatever, it's over.
They're going home. They're going to go relax.
They did their breakup interviews. I watched some of them and got distracted. They're fine. They'll figure it out.
Yeah, they'll have fun.
Yep.
We did see something fun with Michkov where it was a Russian language interview and he was saying that he really liked working with Torts actually and he learned a lot from him and he was kind of upset Torts got fired. Yeah. At least like that he didn't last till the end of the season.
Right.
So for all the people who are like, Torts is ruining Michkov, suck it.
Michkov liked him.
Yeah, Michkov liked him and thinks that he was a good coach and was good for him. So there.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like we said.
Like we've been saying this whole entire time because we know things.
We're the experts.
We're the experts. We have a podcast. Clearly we know what we're talking about. Duh. But we do have one team still in the mix.
We sure do.
For now.
All right.
It's the Dallas Stars.
Oh boy.
So Friday I flew to Dallas. I was supposed to leave at 5:00, but my plane got canceled because of snow, because it snowed in April.
Yeah, it was quite the snowstorm.
It was very, very snowy.
Yep.
And so my first flight got canceled and then my second one got delayed several hours. So I was in the Denver airport for about 8 hours, but I finally made it to Dallas. I got to my hotel around 3:45 in the morning, which is not great when you're as old as I am.
You're not that old, but yes.
I just turned 44. So
I couldn't have done it. I would have. I don't know what I would have done.
I fully fell asleep on the plane, which I've never done in my life. I'm not a plane sleeper, but I could not stay awake.
Yeah.
So
it's a long day.
It was a very long day, but I eventually made it, got to my hotel. I was hoping to maybe meet up with some people there that I kind of know through, online and stuff, but I was so tired. I ended up sleeping most of the day the next day.
Yeah.
And then I went and got my nails done for the game.
Priorities.
Priority, you know.
You got them like in a Dallas green too.
I did. I got fancy manicure and a nice Dallas green with little diamonds on them.
Yep.
And I got a pedicure too. So I could mostly for the calf massage because I did so much walking and my legs are very tired. And then I went to the game.
Mm-hmm.
And it was awesome. I wore my I'm Mason Marchment's attorney and he's innocent t-shirt.
Yep.
And I got a compliment on the way there. Some guy walked past me and was like, "I love your shirt." I was like, "Thanks. I made it myself."
Thanks. I made it myself.
And he was like, "Are you serious?" He was like, "You should make them. You would sell a shit ton of those." So I was like, "Thanks, guy."
We're going in the t-shirt business.
We're going for it.
Well, we could have podcast merch.
Maybe that's our goal next year. I don't know.
That sounds like a lot of work.
It does.
This is already a lot of work.
I know. We'll see what the summer brings. So yeah, I will say I did go to a playoff game in Dallas last year. It was, I think, game 3, maybe game 2, maybe. I don't know. It was when we played Vegas in the first round last year. It was definitely hype last year. I will say that this one felt way more hype to me for some reason.
Yeah.
The energy was just crazy.
I thought it was going to be for some reason.
Yeah, it really felt like it. And like, I know we have a huge rivalry with Vegas, so I don't know if it's just like our rivalry with Colorado is even more intense, or maybe it's just because it was a Saturday night.
Saturday night, game 1. That's the place to be.
It is. You know, I always tend to be able to get a good place by the glass for warm-ups. I could not really get by there. I managed to get behind like 2 rows of people.
Yeah.
Like that's how, I mean, you were stacked like 3 or 4 rows deep to watch the warm-ups this time. People were really like crowded to try and catch a glimpse of the boys today.
Yeah.
Or that day. Sorry, all the days have blurred together at this point. I'm so tired.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just got home like a couple hours ago and now we're doing a podcast.
Yeah, no, I literally was just like, okay, let me just write down some notes and then let's go. And then I'm going to take a bath and go to bed.
Yep.
All right. So, yeah. So, no, I did watch some of the warm-ups, which was nice. Got to see my giant Leon Bischel go by. So that was really what I was down there for.
Yep.
I was directly across the glass from Tyler Sagan's baby. Mm-hmm. His wife was holding his baby. Like it wasn't just the baby like floating in the air or anything. So, but that was really nice. It was another fan pointed it out and was like, "Look, there's Tyler's baby." And I was like, "Where?" So
awesome.
That was really cool. And then I headed back to my seat, which my nice husband got me a pretty nice seat. So I had a really good view. I was sitting next to an Avalanche fan. And so we kind of bonded over the fact that I am a Dallas fan who lives in Colorado and she's an Avalanche fan that lives in Dallas.
Oh, nice. Oh,
Yeah.
She didn't fly in.
No, no,
gotcha.
She lives in Dallas. She goes to Dallas games sometimes because she likes having a hometown team.
Yeah.
But when the Avalanche are in town, she's a hardcore Avs person.
Nice.
But I noticed that she still cheered for Duchesne and Rantanen during all like the pregame stuff, which is nice because a lot of the Avs fans I've seen don't like them anymore, especially Duchesne. They want him to die.
It's easy to not like Duchesne.
Yeah.
and if you had a reason, it'd be like extra easy.
Yeah. No, but she cheered for both of them. And
that's cool.
Yeah, and I was letting her know. I was like, yeah, no, a lot of your people used to be Stars players too. So
yep.
It was nice. We got to like exchange some knowledge. So that was really nice. I did learn that her best friend briefly dated Wyatt last year.
Wow.
I was kind of dying to ask more questions, but then I was also like, I'm way too old to be like interested in the love life of like a 20-year-old hockey player. So I'm not gonna be that person.
Yeah. Yeah. Just let people be people.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and also like I hadn't told her I had like a hockey podcast and I didn't want to be like, I have a hockey podcast. Can you tell me more? And I'll talk about it in my hockey podcast.
Give me the deets.
Yeah. I was like, no, I can't be this person.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's as much as I know. And now you know what I know.
All right. Cool.
Yeah. There was a little kid behind me who was obsessed with my sequin jacket and kept touching my sequins.
Yeah, you got the Stars sequin jacket, so.
I did. I wasn't the only one. I counted people on the big screen who had them, and they'd show crowd shots. And I think I saw 5 other of the sparkly sequin jackets.
Nice.
So lots of other fashion icons there. I got to participate in some sing-alongs.
Oh, right. There is a lot of singing in Dallas, isn't there?
Yeah, they did My Own Worst Enemy, which I love, but the timing on it was kind of awkward. They only got like one line out before it was like puck drop. So
yeah.
But we had a great sing-along to Friends in Low Places.
Oh, they
really
do like
got
that
a long time with that one, and it was very, very loud.
Yep.
So that was great. And then I will say, I think that, the crowd is very loud and hype for pretty much most of the night. It started to kind of lose a little energy in the third period until they showed Joe Pavelski on the screen because he was in the house.
Yes, he was.
And when they showed him on the screen, it went bonkers in there. It was easily the loudest it had been all night.
Yeah, and I don't know if I texted you this or not, but I was watching the Victory Plus feed because of VPNs, and so watching Josh and Razor. So Pavelski came down before he talked to the group, and then he also talked to individual players.
Oh, good.
Before the game.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, he was, but like it sounded like he was like, all right, I'm going to talk to this guy, and this guy, and it was like all planned, and he was like,
I have specific notes for you.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that. So yeah, he addressed the whole team and then some individual players.
Oh, that's really nice. I like that.
Yeah.
Well, we definitely needed a Pavelski boost. And I will say, I think that the team looked a lot better than we've been looking the last several games.
They did not look whatever the last, yeah.
I know the score looked bad.
Yeah.
We lost 5-1. So my dad texted me last night and was like, oh my God, I just saw the score. I'm so sorry. And I'm like, no, it wasn't as bad as it looked, honestly, for real.
Absolutely. Everyone agrees that the score wasn't representative of the game.
Yeah. Am I still not super stoked about where we are? No, I'm still not super stoked about where we are, but it's a huge improvement.
Yeah.
Thomas Harley said in his post game that this is the best we've looked in a month or two. So
yeah, no, they were hustling and playing hard, and yeah. I still have some notes for them and how they played, but sure.
Absolutely. And we can get into that. I will say that it took them a little while to get going. 5 minutes into the game, I think we still had one shot on goal.
Yeah.
So we were just having a hard time kind of staying, putting any kind of offensive pressure on. The Abs went on the power play after a totally bullshit tripping call on Mason Marchment. Cale Makar fell on his own skates.
Okay.
They showed it on the screen. It was very clear. Even the Avalanche.
Oh, is that the one where he got super heated about?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. I was thinking of Wyatt tripping him, which was later.
Which was 30 seconds later. Yeah, no, even the Avalanche fan next to me was like, yeah, he fell down. That was not a trip. No, I unzipped my jacket and I was like, I'm Mason Marchment's attorney and he's innocent.
Yeah.
Your Honor. So, no, I was like, this is why I wear my shirt. People need to know the truth.
Yeah.
So, yes, my client was once again unfairly persecuted. Then 30 seconds later, while Mason Marchment's in the box, Wyatt Johnston got sent to the box for tripping Cale Makar once again.
Yeah.
And I think that they should not have sent him because I think that was double jeopardy. Because Cale Makar, somebody had already gone to prison for tripping Cale Makar.
Right.
And that person was innocent. So while Wyatt Johnston was guilty, I don't think you should be able to send somebody else to jail for the same crime.
That's a hot take. We'll have to review that.
Listen, I took a semester of law, of intro to law, 20 years ago. So I know what I'm talking about. And I know Double Jeopardy doesn't work like that. But there was a movie called Double Jeopardy that also didn't work like that. And they made a whole movie about it. So
that is true.
So, there you go. But, anyway, so we were put in a position where we had to kill off a, 2-man advantage. But we made it through the 5-on-3 unscathed.
I could not believe they killed that one.
I held my breath probably the entire time. I'm surprised I didn't pass out and die.
Yeah, Sam Steele needs an award for his defense during those PKs because he was Josh and Razor were losing their minds over the hold on, I'm going to sound smart for a second. The scene passes he was interrupting.
Yeah. He's awesome. Yeah. I love him. He's a little cutie pie and he's just ferocious.
Yeah.
So he can do everything.
Yep.
So
everybody's stick seemed longer. Both sides. When it came to defense, they were just getting sticks in on pucks all the time on both sides.
No, I definitely noticed that from the Avs too. I was just like, oh, no wonder we can't do anything. Like the Avs just have like magnets in their sticks that attract pucks. Like it's so stupid.
They're like a swarm of bees, like fast bees on ice skates.
Fast bees on skates.
Hornets.
The Colorado Avs.
Wasps or something.
It's yeah, no, it was a very intense game. I mean, they came out playing playoff hockey right away. Both teams.
It was immediate. Yeah.
Yeah, they really did. So yeah, 12 minutes in, we still only had 1 or 2 shots on goal, which I was, keeping an eye on that in the arena. And I was like, oh, come on, guys, don't do this to me again.
Yeah.
But then Josh Manson went to ice jail for holding Matt Duchene.
Yep. Yeah, they were, Josh and Razor were impressed with Duchene, like, drawing that call. Like, he forced the holding kind of once he realized he could kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that the Avs fan next to me was like, given the side eye about that one a little bit, but she was like, you know what, it's Matt Duchene, he can do what he wants. So we didn't score in that power play, but we had tons of shots. We jumped from like 1 shot to 8 shots or something.
Yeah.
So that really seemed to jumpstart our offense a little bit, and we definitely had some pep in our step after that. And yeah, Otter made some really good saves in the first period.
Yep.
Blackwood was looking fantastic, though.
Yeah, he came out of nowhere and it's just like, here I am in the playoffs.
Yeah,
right? He's never been in the playoffs.
No, this is his first playoff game.
Yeah,
and he looked amazing, and that's a little terrifying.
Yeah, he's like, hold my something that he holds.
Stick, a blocker.
I don't know. No, I think he keeps those.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, he doesn't want us to hold those. Because he just looked really good. He was so dialed in, and that was really the Avs' weak spot, was the goaltending, and them addressing that was huge. And
yeah, it's been addressed.
And he is stepping up big time.
Yep.
And I will say, Jake was making some impressive saves, but I was a little nervous right from the get-go because a lot of them were just kind of deflection saves.
Right.
And he wasn't like freezing the puck.
Yep.
At all. And I was just like, oh, there's so many rebound opportunities the Blackwood is not giving up here.
Right.
And that kind of ended up leading to the Avs' first goal, which happened in the second period. So I will say I was excited to leave the first period tied at 0-0, pretty much even on the shots.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I think the Avs had the puck for like the last 30 seconds or something. I was like, oh no, this is where they score on the Stars. This is what the Stars do. They're like, no, we're going to go into the second with down 1.
Yeah, exactly. No, I was really happy to go in with, scoreless on both sides, pretty even on the shot count.
Yep.
Which, again, that would be like the bare minimum most of the time. But after our last 7 games, like felt just like so good.
Reassuring.
So reassuring.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But halfway through the second period, Arturi Lehkonen took a shot and it bounced off of Otter because he, wasn't really controlling things necessarily. So after Lehkonen took the shot, he fell down. And then, so the puck bounced back of Otter and then bounced off of Lehkonen's skate as he was falling and then bounced over Jake's shoulder into the goal.
Yeah.
It was the flukiest goal I've ever seen in person.
Yeah.
And one of the flukier goals I've seen.
For sure. Yeah, no, that was, I think we texted just stupid puck luck. Like, there's nothing you can do about that. Like, He wasn't trying to do that, obviously. And if he was, like, everyone was saying he's like an amazing soccer player, doing bicycle kicks out there, putting pucks in the net.
Yeah, they did review it to see like if it was a kicking motion, but I don't think anybody actually thought it was a kicking motion. No. I think they just wanted to see what the fuck happened because everyone was confused. Like we were all like, wait, what?
Yep.
What now? Like nobody understood.
Yep.
So it was pretty crazy. Yeah. So I didn't like that. But again, it was kind of like, well, it was a puck luck thing that just happens sometimes at the playoffs for you.
Right.
With 5 minutes to go in the second period, Rope Hintz got a double minor for high-sticking Nate McKinnon in the face.
Yeah, that wasn't the best move on his part.
It wasn't. Now, okay, I'm interested to see how that played out from your end, because what it seems like in the arena to us was that it was a missed call from the refs, and that it was only after like play had stopped and the Avs went over to the refs and were like, he hit me in the face though, but he hit me in the face.
Yeah, it was kind of, it was called behind the play, obviously. Like they were down in the offensive zone when the whistle happened. There was like a ref down there, like kind of aware of things, though.
Okay, so was there like a linesman who had seen it maybe or something?
Yeah, there was just a bunch of people standing around with McKinnon holding his face, so...
Okay. So yeah, that was the thing, was it really did not seem, at least in the arena, like any official had noticed. It just seemed like the play had gone on.
He might not have noticed, but he was in the general vicinity and then there was blood. So
see, like, here's the thing. I believe that, like, if you call a double minor, the ref can take the initiative to like review it to make sure like it was the opposing team's stick and not like friendly fire.
Right.
But if you miss a double minor, I don't think you can then be like, oh shit, somebody's bleeding. Let me check and see if that was a double minor. I don't know. Like, I don't know the rule book enough to know if that's a thing. So,
well, you can add that to your court case.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know. My docket is very full right now. Mason Marchment keeps me very busy. So, but I don't know. That's just something that was interesting to me because it very much looked like basically the Avs stopped the game to be like, but my face.
Yeah, it was kind of a cluster for sure.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, it was called well after. And
like, I'm not saying Rope Hintz didn't high stick him in the face. He definitely did it.
And Rope was like hanging out back there too.
Yeah.
So like, there was a kerfuffle behind the play.
Yes.
And I don't know.
So I don't know. So maybe it's possible that a linesman saw it and like the linesman can't stop plays. I think the ref can only stop the play. So maybe if a linesman saw it and then they have to let the ref know when the play does stop.
Right.
Maybe that's what it is. But it certainly didn't come across that way in the arena to me. But I also have really bad ADHD. So who knows what I see.
Yep.
So anyway, the Avs went on a 4-minute power play and Nate McKinnon recovered enough from his facial injury to score a goal.
Yep.
He basically bounced the puck off of Lyubushkin.
Yeah. Was that like the knuckleball looking? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So he had a bicycle kick followed by a knuckleball. Like,
just two real freaky goals.
Right. It's like, that's going to be tough to stop.
Yeah. I mean, neither of those were on Jake, really.
No.
So can't really say anything about that.
Yeah. The one goal was definitely on the Stars, though. Like, they need to do more than that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like, but those two on Jake, not his fault.
No.
Yeah.
So, we got out of the second period down 2-0. Again, didn't necessarily feel like the end of the world. We've come back from worse before.
2-0 is fine.
Yeah. About 5 minutes into the third period, Josh Manson got an interference penalty for basically cross-checking Mason Marchment in the face.
Yeah, he did.
And I was a little concerned Mush was going to go down for embellishment because it looked a little flaily from where I was sitting. But then once they replayed it on the overhead, I was like, oh, okay, that was actually really fucking hard.
Yeah, you texted me. I was like, no, that was like he didn't have a choice on going down. Like his arms are going to flail because he's a flaily boy. But,
he's Gumby.
Yeah, but he was definitely not under, his body was not under his control at the time.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think anybody would have reacted that way.
Yeah.
If they had been hit in the face like that.
Yeah. I was worried about his like blood pressure like after because he was pretty upset. Or was that he was just angry the whole game? He's just an angry guy. I will say my Avs neighbor, she works at a bar and one of her regulars works like in the Stars organization, and apparently he says Mason Marchment's kind of a dick, which I didn't like hearing. No, we don't like, just block that out.
But yeah, I like that is so like fifth hand information that I refuse to believe it. So.
Yeah, it's kind of on brand though. I
mean, a little bit. Just a little bit. But he also said Matt Duchene was great. So. Oh
boy.
Yeah. So who knows?
That's a false.
But super high maintenance.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I choose to form my own opinions on people. And so.
Yeah. I mean, that's more fun. We don't need to know who they really are.
Yeah, exactly. I just will continue to assign them personalities.
Absolutely.
And that's the way I like it.
They're just little men on the TV. They're
just my little friends who live in the television set, and that's the way I like it. I don't need to know them as people.
Nope.
No, they're just like my little, it's like when I used to watch soap operas in high school.
Exactly.
They're my little soap opera knife skate friends.
These are your stories.
They're my stories. It's just my stories, okay? And that's fine, and that's normal. Anyway, so yeah, Mason Marchment got cross-checked in the face, and Dallas went on the power play. Blackwood did lose his stick, which was great for us.
I didn't notice that at all. Apparently, I was probably watching Charlie XCX at the time.
Probably.
So
yeah, which I mean, who wouldn't?
Well, me. I had to turn it off. It wasn't very good. Anyway, you can check out my music podcast where I review people's performance abilities.
Your Coachella podcast. So Rope Hintz managed to deflect a puck in on that power play and nice. Cut the lead in half. It was a really nice one.
Redemption for his transgressions.
Exactly. He had to get one back after that high stick incident. And, it was a great tip in goal too, which was great since Pavelski was in the house.
Yep.
So at that point, again, I'm feeling really optimistic. I'm feeling like things are in hand.
Yeah.
But that damn Mackenzie Blackwood is just too good.
He was real good.
He was too good. We had tons of great chances, but he just kept turning them away. And like 5 minutes after that, he turned one away and the Avs got it and went to the other end and scored on Jake. And that took us to 3-1 with, I don't know, like under 10 minutes left to play. Mm-hmm. And that started to feel a little tight.
That wasn't ideal.
It wasn't.
Yep.
So with about a little over 3 minutes left to go, we pulled Jake.
Yeah, I didn't like that call.
I was not super excited about it either.
Didn't seem like the right time because they couldn't maintain the offensive zone.
Exactly.
So seemed like a bad move.
And yeah, I don't know, just in general, I feel like Nate McKinnon's going to get that puck. And you know what? He did. Yeah. And he got the empty net goal pretty much like within 20 seconds of Jake getting pulled.
Those dudes are so fast.
They're so fast. Like, it's crazy. Like I was kind of center ice-ish and like watching McKinnon move through the neutral zone, it is like a hot knife through butter. Yeah. Like it is fucking crazy.
And it seemed like they were all, I mean, I know they're all fast, but it seemed like they were all extra fast. And like their defensive pressure was like almost man to man because they just go out and pressure them. And then the Stars would be like, oh, no, I was going to set up right here. Oh,
yeah, no, they're like fast and they're big and they just... they're just playing at like a whole different speed setting. It's crazy. So it makes me very nervous.
Yeah. And, we saw that NHLPA thing that they posted where they asked players if they'd rather have like...
McDavid's speed or Matthew's shot.
And most were like, oh, the speed.
Yeah, absolutely.
And after watching that game, I'm like, yeah, no, you just need speed. Just that speed kills.
Yeah, 100%. No, it's so impressive.
Yeah.
And... McDavid's speed is amazing. McKinnon isn't as fast as McDavid, but he is fast and huge.
Right. And then all the other guys are fast too.
Yeah. No, it's stupid. I hate it.
It's not ideal.
Yeah. And like they didn't even have any Landeskog this game, by the way.
Oh, they're saving him for Colorado.
They're saving him for...
They're going to bring him out.
Oh, yeah, like at home?
Yeah, the home game. They're going to bring him out and shit's going to go crazy.
Yeah, I think you're right. No, I was like, they're gonna wait and deploy him when they need him. And
he's a surprise. He's going to replace Eric Johnston there.
He's going to come out with a steel chair and it's going to be over for us.
I know his name's Johnson.
I didn't even notice. I'm so tired.
Yeah.
I'm so tired.
I was surprised he was playing. I thought he was going to be out shoveling ice.
No, he was great. That was actually another chat I had with my Avs neighbor. I was telling her how glad I was that they got EJ back. And she was like, oh my God, I'm so happy.
Right.
So, yeah. So, no. Anyway, at that point, we're down 4-1. And I will say this is the thing I don't like about playoffs is you get a lot of people who aren't hardcore fans there.
Yeah.
And fully half the arena started to leave at this point.
Yeah.
Like there's still 3 minutes left on the clock. Yeah, we're down by 3, but it's hockey, dude. Like
you paid so much money for that.
Paid so much money.
Just stay to the end.
Yeah, just fucking stay there. Like,
oh my God.
You're not going to like beat the traffic because half the arena is leaving with you.
Exactly.
Like, oh my God, calm down.
Yeah, no, we're not the kind of people that go to a thing and leave early unless it's like, I think we've maybe done that one time, but not at like a hockey game.
No, I usually stay till the end because I'm like, well, I'll just wait till the traffic clears.
Right.
And then go. Yeah. And then I don't have to like deal with the crowd.
Yeah. We're not the people that you see in the morning and they're like, yeah, I shut my computer off when it was 5-2. Or, like, no, we stay to the end. It's friggin' hockey.
Till the end.
It's hockey. Have you seen a game before?
Happen. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Plus, no, I spent my money. I want to enjoy like every minute I can, even if it's not enjoyable,
Even if it's miserable.
even if it sucks.
Right.
So, you know what? I don't even blame Jake for the last goal that he let in pretty much immediately after they put him back in the net, because I think I would also let goals in if fully half of the audience was leaving.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was just a mass exodus. It was crazy.
Now, you could see it on TV, too.
Yeah, no, it was super distracting and super, super annoying. I hated that.
Yeah.
So don't have any sympathy for Fairweather fans.
Playoff fans.
Nope, don't care for it. Don't like it.
The TNT hockey watchers, they're like, oh, what game's on? All right, I'll watch that game.
Yeah, and like, sorry, if you feel that way, just watch it at home. Like,
I don't know.
don't do it. Just,
well, you know, people going to spend money.
I mean, that's fine. I guess do what you want to do, but just don't be an asshole. Like,
Yeah. Hard agree.
I don't know. That's just my personal opinion as somebody who also spent a lot of money and stayed until the end.
Yes, you got your money's worth.
I did get my money's worth. And then I walked to a nice restaurant and treated myself to a steak dinner at midnight because I was hungry.
Yeah.
And then I went back to my hotel at like 1 a.m. Because I was very tired. And then I went to bed. And then I had to fly back home. And that was pretty much my weekend.
And here you are. Well,
And here I am.
I'm glad you got to do it.
I am too. I was very tempted to get up and go watch the open practice today in Frisco, but I didn't feel like getting an Uber out there this morning.
Oh, Frisco. Yeah. The one place I've been in Texas is Frisco. That's not like right by there. You got to go a bit of a ways.
That was going to be like a half-hour Uber ride, and then I was going to have to then Uber to the airport from there, and I was going to have to bring all of my stuff, and it was just going to be a lot, and I was very tired. So
yeah,
I always wanted to go to one of the practices, but I just, I woke up this morning and I just couldn't do it. I just didn't have any gas left in the tank. So
yeah. Well, from my standpoint, I thought they played pretty well. I was very frustrated watching that game. I felt like their offensive zone entries were shit.
Yeah.
I felt like they couldn't win in the neutral zone ever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the O-zone time was, but it felt like it was always in Colorado's advantage.
I found myself like watching the Colorado side even when we weren't there because I expected them to be there.
Right. Just waiting for them.
Yeah, pretty much. I'd be like, oh, wait, we're not there anymore. That's weird. I thought we were still there.
Yeah. Yeah. And it just felt like the foot got lifted off the gas the further and further they got into the game.
Yeah. And
I will say, I think DeBoer sucks as a coach at this point. I think he's doing that thing he does in the playoffs where he's like, no, we have the recipe. It's just, you just keep doing the recipe. And I feel like Paul Maurice needs to call him and be like, those guys need some profanity.
Yeah.
They need some profanity to like light a fire or something. I don't know.
Can we like pay Paul Maurice to like call and yell at them or something?
I don't know. They're like best friends. Like you think Paul would be like, hey, you should yell at your guys maybe.
Yeah, no, we watched his post game today and he's so just chill and I fucking hate it.
He's
like,
just do. Well, yeah, we didn't win that one, but we played pretty well. Okie dokie. Well, see you guys later. Like, dude.
I'm over it.
Yeah.
I'm over it. Like, no, I'm done. I'm sorry. Like, I need to see some kind of anything.
Yeah,
like,
energy, fire.
Yeah, anything. Just give me anything.
Yeah.
I need the coach to care more than I do.
Yeah, and the only time he cared last year was when someone was like, hey, you kind of suck. And he's like, hey, fuck you.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and then the next day he was like, sorry about that.
Right, exactly. So
yeah, like the don't get too high, don't get too low stuff. It's not working.
no, they got to get a little high.
I feel like I need to get a little high for that game. Jesus. No, I just feel like, I don't know, that like attitude of his is like permeated the team.
Yeah.
And it's not like a good, like, oh, we're staying even keeled. It's just like it's the Dallas Sleepy Boys.
Yeah. No,
it's the Peter DeBoer Sleepy Boys.
Yeah. No, it's like they took like a bunch of Benadryl and they're just like enjoying that. They're like, no, I'm a little drowsy. It's fine.
Yeah. No. I don't think you can step up a level if like you don't have a sense of urgency. And I don't think he has a sense of urgency.
Yeah.
And like, that's not his style. And like, that's fine if it's not his style, but like, clearly it's not motivating the team.
Yeah. No, I watched that interview and some things on the YouTube and the hockey guys comment section. And there's just a lot of people that are like, oh, the coach has lost the team or something. I'm like, I don't know if that's true. Like, because literally I'm not there. And that's just people making shit up. But it feels like the energy is not right for what they need at the moment.
I don't know if the coach has lost the team so much as like the coach like isn't taking control of the team.
Something, yeah.
Like the coach isn't like lighting a fire under them. The coach is just being like, okay, try your best, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, that's not enough.
Nope.
It's just not.
Sucks.
It sucks.
Well, we'll see how game dose goes.
We will see. I hope it goes a little bit better, but it's like, it's past time to figure it out. Like,
it is certainly past time.
it is literally the playoffs. Like, we need to get it together.
Yeah. They really need to win this next game because it's going to be rough if they don't.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
And also, we saw today that Logan Stankoven has more playoff goals than the entire Dallas Stars team.
Yes.
Currently.
Yes, that is accurate. The Hurricanes played today.
Yep.
They beat the Devils, I think, 4-1.
4-1.
And Logan Stankoven scored 2 goals.
50% of the goals were Stankoven.
Yes. Yeah.
The crowd was chanting his name.
Yes.
Stankoven.
Yes.
Who they got rid of. For
Mikko Rantanen, who did not score the 1 goal that Dallas has scored in the playoffs.
Yeah. Nope.
You know what he did do? He fell down a lot.
I saw him almost fall down. I wasn't paying like attention to him falling down, but I saw him get a little a little tipsy.
One of the guys behind us at the game was like, "Has Mikko Rantanen done anything today?" And I said, "He fell down a lot," and people thought that was really funny. So yeah, that was
I don't know. I'm the jury's. It's a lot of court references here. The jury's still out for me on him. I don't think he's going to bring anything this year.
Yeah, I don't think I can pass judgment on him until next year.
Yeah,
so.
But I don't think. Obviously, those geniuses during the trade deadline that said the Stars are winning the Stanley Cup now that they have him are fucking idiots.
They've all forgotten that they said that.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't. It's like they say things and then they just move on with their lives.
Yep.
So, well, that's all we have for the Stars. I thought maybe before we wrapped up, we could talk about our playoff predictions, at least for round 1.
Okay.
So we kind of know definitely know all of our round 1 matchups now because round 1 has kicked off. So let's start with the Eastern Conference.
Okay.
So we've got the Senators versus the Maple Leafs.
Yep.
Who do we think is going to take that series and why?
I would like the Senators to do it. I think the Maple Leafs will do it. And they were up 4-1 when we came down here. So I think they're going to take game 1.
Yeah, I think that the Senators just getting to the playoffs was their victory this year. And I think that that's okay. I think that the Leafs, for them, they really need to make it out of the first round and really out of the second round because they did make it out of the first round like year before last, I think. Yeah. I think this is the year for the Leafs to like make a deep playoff run.
There's potential.
Little Mitchie Marner broke the 100-point mark this season for the first time ever.
Yeah.
And he's come close before, but he's been cut short by like injuries or COVID seasons. And yeah, he's looked great this year. He's had such a complete game. You know, they've got the new coach, Craig Berube, who is just like a very different coach than old what's-his-face, Sheldon Keefe.
Old Sheldon Keefe.
Yeah. So, he's a lot more seasoned, I think, and has like sort of higher accountability for his players.
And he likes Marner.
And you like Marner.
And
I like Marner. So.
And Marner scored a goal today.
He scored a really nice goal. It was like a really nice breakaway goal. He made it look super easy.
Got him up 2-1 and that crowd lost their minds.
It was really, really nice.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, I think they take the Senators.
I think so too. I do think it's going to be a fight. I think Brady Tkachuk's going to push it as far as they can go. I think it could go like to 7 games.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I do. the only reason I would like the Senators to win is just for the Toronto fans to just live with that for the year, just because
they've suffered for so long, though. Like,
I know, but it's just like a meme of itself at this point.
I know, but like, can't we let them just have like a little like happiness just for a treat?
I think they're going to have some happiness.
I think that they might. All right, let's do the Canadiens versus the Capitals.
Again, I hope the Canadiens win. I think it's going to be the Capitals. Although I don't know. They definitely took their foot off the gas after Ovi got his stuff.
I was going to say a few weeks ago, I would have given it to the Caps pretty much 100%, but I don't think that's as clear cut anymore. You know, the end of the season hasn't been great for them. I don't know if they're like Dallas bad, but like, you know, they haven't looked great. They've had some sort of blowout losses. And yeah, I feel like for them, just like for the Senators, just making it to the playoffs was their victory. I feel like for the Caps, you know, Ovi breaking the goal record kind of was their Stanley Cup this year, because it felt very much like a team victory and not just a personal victory.
For sure.
And, you know, the Habs are young, and I don't think that they're, you know, seasoned enough to make like a super deep playoff run. But I do think that they could maybe make it out of the first round as kind of a Cinderella story.
I'd love to see it.
Especially with that like Demidov boost.
Yeah.
So again, I could see that one going to like 7 games, but I think the Habs could do it.
I think they play tomorrow, right? Anyway.
I believe so. So we'll have to see. All right. Panthers versus Lightning, the Battle of Florida.
Oh, God. Probably the Panthers. I don't know. You don't like the Lightning and grew up not liking them. And I think you're right to not like them. So, yeah.
I wrote down for my notes, the Panthers are fun and sexy. The Lightning are not. Panthers in 6.
There we go.
That's it. That's all I have.
That's all you need.
That's all I got.
Yep.
That's all I got.
And Kucherov's such a wet mop. It's just...
He won the one of the Fancy Boy Awards.
Yeah.
He won the like most points or whatever. So
yeah, we didn't want. There's a hockey psychology video like when no one cares, and it's like a picture of Kucherov sitting on the bench or something. So it's probably about that.
Yeah, probably.
Anyway.
All right, and then the last team in the Eastern Conference, or the last matchup in the Eastern Conference, we have the Devils versus the Hurricanes.
Hurricanes in 4.
I mean,
Stankoven with 2 goals every night.
So, yeah, no, the Devils have had worse injury luck than the Stars this year. And that is saying a lot considering how many pucks to the face we've caught and how many people we have out. I mean, Jason Robertson, I forgot to mention we have no Jason Robertson right now because in the last game of the season, he had a freak injury and now has been cited in a knee brace that goes from like ankle to thigh. So that's awesome. So it says week to week, but I don't think we're going to see him this season. So
unlike Colorado, who rested their guys.
Right.
Pete's like, get out there and oh, sorry. Oh, shit.
Never mind. Yeah, no, the Devils are down some key players, including like Jonas Siegenthaler and Jack Hughes.
Yeah.
I mean, are the Devils fans even going to show up? Because who are they going to pay to watch play?
I don't know.
If Jack Hughes isn't there.
People pay to watch him play.
Mm-hmm. And then I wrote this down before Logan Stankoven scored 2 goals today. I said, the Canes, on the other hand, have Logan Stankoven. So
enough said. And they got that other guy.
Jankowski.
Yeah.
Jankowski.
Somebody.
Stank and Jank. They got Stank and Jank.
Yep.
Not to mention Seth Jarvis, Sebastian Aho. Like, they have other really good players.
Yeah.
So I did say that I don't think it'll be a sweep necessarily. I do think Devils could pull out 1. So it's going to be maybe be Canes in 5.
Okay.
But it'll probably be a sweep. I'm just trying to be nice.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to the Western Conference.
Okay.
All right. The Blues versus the Jets.
The Jets, obviously.
I don't know. See, the Jets have been really dominant all year, while the Blues went on that really improbable winning streak after 4 Nations to like sneak into the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
You're also getting the sequel to the 4 Nations goalie duel between Binnington and Hellebuck.
Yeah. It's not much of a duel, but okay.
Well, yeah, except for, you know, the Jets went out, first round last year, I think, and Hellebuck didn't do great. You know, he did awesome regular season. And
they won game 1.
Yeah, that doesn't mean anything.
No, I know.
It's 7 games. There's still a lot more to go.
All right.
So, you know, I think we're kind of looking at, is this Hellebuck's like redemption story after last year and going out early? Or is this, the St. Louis like having their sort of own Cinderella story coming back? I did settle eventually on St. Louis is fueled by voodoo right now. They have that little Joe Boo doll thing.
Yep.
Like their nameplates for their lockers for the playoffs have the little voodoo doll on it.
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't last forever.
No.
So I think the luck's going to run out. So I think it's going to go down to the wire. I think the Jets are going to win, but it's going to go to like triple overtime in Game 7.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I honestly have no opinion and don't really care, but it's going to be the Jets, and you've got your head in the sand on that one. And I could be totally wrong because also I don't care.
I hope I'm right just so I can rub this in your face.
Yeah, we can replay. We'll mark this for replay, but the Jets are going to take this one.
All right. Oh my God. Now I really need you to be wrong just so I can make you suffer.
Sounds good.
All right. The Wild versus Vegas.
Oh God, I hope the Wild win.
Yeah, I never thought I'd be cheering for the Wild, and yet here I am.
And they did something like last week to make you angry at them too.
Oh yeah, what did they do?
I don't know. Some guy was being a dick.
Somebody was being a dick.
Yeah,
like as per usual.
Oh yeah, it was the pile driver guy, Hartman. No, anyway, doesn't matter. I hope they win. It's probably going to be Vegas.
I haven't actually been paying attention to Vegas this year at all because I really try to pretend they don't exist unless they're in front of me. So I don't really know how they're doing. I do know that the Wild started out great. They really had a pretty steep fall off after, they had tons of injuries.
Yeah. No Kaprizov means no winning.
Right. I think Kaprizov is back now.
He is, yeah.
He is. So that's really good for them. And they do have that boost of it being Fleury's last season.
Absolutely.
And they're obsessed with Fleury.
They love
Fleury. And, especially Gustafsson, the starting goalie, he loves Fleury. So he's going to want to win this for his homie.
I love it. And I hope they do it.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm always going to say that Vegas loses. So I'm going Wild, and I'm going Wild in 6.
Wow, look at you.
Fuck you, Vegas. That's why.
Yeah. You obviously don't follow Vegas, nor do I. I just follow whatever you follow. But word on the street is they were pretty good this year. So
I'm sure the word on the street was that. And ask me how much I care. It's nothing at all.
I'm with you.
Awesome.
Minnesota's an awesome state.
There you go.
I spent a summer there. It was great.
Yeah. All right. Oilers versus Kings.
I don't even really care. I guess Edmonton, but now the Kings. What usually happens? What's the normal storyline? Edmonton gets knocked out?
No, usually Edmonton knocks the Kings out in the first round. They always face each other in the first round. Like you can always count on that. Right. And then usually Edmonton wins. I think for like the last 3 years, Edmonton has won.
All right.
However, I think this is the year that the Kings take it.
Yeah, I'm all for it. I like that kid that they have that's good.
Quentin Byfield?
Yeah. I'm
hoping that he is better and able to play because Darnell Nurse did do that.
Darnell Nurse did a dirty on him?
Yeah, he...
Is that what he got the hearing for?
The 2-game suspension for. Yeah, he jammed his elbow into him when he was on the ice after the whistle.
Not cool.
Not cool. Nope.
Yeah.
So, and he missed a game, but...
And we've got Kuzmenko to root for.
Exactly. I think Kuzmenko has added a lot of pizzazz to that team.
Yeah.
And I don't know, the Kings are just feeling a little spicier. So I think...
I don't know what that was, but...
So, I think the Kings are feeling a little spicier, and I think that we could see an upset.
Yeah, sounds good.
Even with the healthy McDrysaddle.
Yeah.
All right. And then finally, we got the Avs versus the Stars. And this one was really hard for me because as a Stars fan, obviously I want to say, obviously the Stars are taking it, but I think it's going to be the Avs.
I'm right there with you. I don't think this is the Dallas year. I don't see it. I haven't seen it for a hot minute because, even before they were on their losing skid, the storyline was, they've won these games, but don't watch the games that they won because yikes.
Yeah, even when we've been doing really well all season, I kept saying there's just something missing. We just are not going to the next level.
Yeah, profanity.
Yeah, profanity is missing. And, maybe they should just fly me out there. I swear a lot.
Yeah.
So I'll swear at them for a while.
Yeah.
I'll make them feel terrible.
Yeah.
I'm very good at that. So yeah, no, I love the Stars. I think that they have the ingredients and what it takes. But I think that, remember that time you made brownies and you forgot to add the oil?
One day we'll leave this story in the past.
There's a point though. I'm not bringing this up to make you feel bad.
No, I know.
But remember, you forgot to add the oil. So then you like pulled them out of the oven to add the oil in. And then
I
you put them back in the oven. And then they just didn't turn out right.
Well, no, I mean, they were supposed to cook for like 30 minutes and they were not done after 30 minutes. So I left them in, and then they were not done after an hour. So I just left them in, and then like an hour and 20 minutes they were done.
Yeah. And then I took a bite out of them and it tasted like each molecule like individually had been charred.
Yeah.
It was the worst thing I've ever tasted in my life.
Or charcoal brownies.
I'm still haunted by them.
Yeah, yeah.
Our daughter still is like, Dad, will you make charcoal brownies? Because she wants to taste them, because I've told this story so many times. Anyway, I feel like that's the Dallas Stars right now. Like, we have all of the ingredients, but we forgot to put the oil in.
Yeah.
And so like we tried to put the oil in, but it was too late. And these brownies are burnt at a molecular level right now.
Yeah. No, there are like molecular reactions that happen with cooking. And if you get those things messed up, sometimes you get charcoal brownies.
Exactly. So I think, and like they weren't like hard brownies.
No,
they were like soft. They had the texture of regular brownies. They were like very soft and cakey.
Yep.
But they tasted like charcoal.
Yeah. Because I cooked them for an hour and a half.
Yeah, they like looked like regular brownies, but they just tasted like so burned.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like the Stars, they look like our team.
Yep.
They have all of our players.
Yep. They're wearing the jerseys and stuff.
But they taste terrible.
Stars taste terrible.
Yeah, I should really stop licking them.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I just don't think they have it this year.
No,
I please prove me wrong, guys. Like, please, by all means do. I'd love to eat my words as long as they don't taste like those brownies.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's happening. I think I think we need to take the summer off and do a reset and a reevaluation. And I think we need to do a coaching change. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, that's an overreaction, but I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I think it's time. I think we need to get somebody in there who will spice it up.
Yep. I'm totally with you.
I'm not saying we need to go like full torts, but I'm not saying that.
Yeah. Well, there's a bunch of other coaches got fired recently. So you could have Laviolette next year.
Ugh. Like, I don't know who I would want, but I think I'm done with DeBoer.
Yeah. Jessica Campbell for Stars.
Okay. Sign me up. I'm 100% in. I feel like she'd be way tougher than DeBoer.
Oh, yeah. She'd give them profanity.
Absolutely.
Like, get it fucking together, guys.
Yeah. She'd be like, what is this bullshit? Come on.
Yep. No, I'm with you. So, yeah, anyway, I'm Avs in 4, honestly, after seeing last night. Those guys are playing on a different level than the Stars.
I would like to say that it's Avs in 6. But I'm probably wrong, but I'm going to say that because I feel too disloyal. It was already hard enough for me to say that the Avs are going to take round 1. Yeah. So I'm going to say Avs in 6, but yeah, it's going to be the Avs. I love you, Stars, but
yikes. Yeah.
The Stars are not shining super bright right now.
Nope.
So
falling stars.
Yeah. Oh, they've cratered. So, well, thanks for sending me to Dallas, though. It was really fun.
Yeah, I'm glad you had a good time anyway.
I did.
And I knew you would, regardless. Like, you've only ever seen them lose in person. So
no, one time kidding. I saw them win, and it was the game 6 last year when we knocked Colorado out of the playoffs.
Yeah, no, that was an awesome game.
That makes up for every other time when I've seen them lose.
Yep.
Which is every other time I've seen them play. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the bad luck.
I will say, I texted you that I was wearing my Wedgwood shirt, my Dallas Stars Wedgwood shirt, because I thought that would be like Starsy. I was like, oh, I've got Stars merch. It says Wedgwood on it. I know he's on the opposing team, but it's still Stars merch. And I was wearing it. They'd called that timeout. I was like, maybe this Wedgwood shirt is bad luck. And so I went and changed it for like a cool, like, amp repair person t-shirt. And they scored a goal. And I was like, well, I fixed it. They're going to win tonight. And sorry, it wasn't enough.
That's funny, though, because you always make fun of me with my outfits and stuff.
Yeah.
And the superstition.
I considered not telling you.
No, I know. You texted me and then you were immediately like, I'm not superstitious.
Yeah, no.
You're just a little stitious.
I'm just a little stitious. Had they not scored the goal right after I changed my shirt, I would have never mentioned it.
I appreciate your honesty on that front.
Yep.
Thank you for owning up to that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to take up witchcraft or something. Whatever's going on with the stars, it's above my pay grade.
Yeah, you got to be careful with magic.
Yeah, I guess so. That's true. I don't want to like turn into the Calgary Flames or anything.
Yeah.
So.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I guess we're going to check in next week and see where we're at with the playoffs and see if the Stars are still around and
oh, shoot. Yeah.
see how many goals Logan Stankoven has scored and if it's more than the Dallas Stars have scored and all kinds of good stuff. So I don't know. I am looking forward to catching up on the playoffs, though. So I think it'll be nice.
Yep, for sure.
All right. Well, that's the end of regulation for this week's episode of Ice is Slippery. You can find us on Tumblr, Blue Sky, TikTok, and Instagram at Ice is Slippery Pod. You can also email us at iceisslipperypod@gmail.com, where we would love to get suggestions for games and hear your hockey hot takes. Until next week, stay out of the penalty box.